I do now want to turn back home and set our sights on Minnesota, because earlier this month, an ICE agent fatally shot a woman named Renee Good in Minneapolis. And since then, anti-ICE protests have popped up throughout the country. Videos of ICE agents acting aggressively have gone viral, and even podcaster Joe Rogan have questioned the agency's tactics. He's compared them to the Gestapo. How are people feeling about ICE in general right now?
And I think that this is the low point of the administration's policies and actions in this poll. 57% say that the presence of ICE has been more harmful in communities than beneficial. 38% say that it has been more beneficial. So that is a clear majority who say that ICE is not helping, that it is harming, actively harming communities. If we look at some of the demographics here, 55% of Hispanics say that it's more harmful, not far from 51% of white voters who say it's more harmful. Obviously, overwhelming majority of Democrats say that it's more harmful. But even when we look at Republicans, 18% say that ICE is more harmful in these communities than beneficial. I think that's an interesting number. There's only about 75%. That is a sizable number. I don't want to understate that, but there is this group within Republicans who are a little bit queasy with some of the actions of ICE, with some of the actions of the Trump administration, and that's understandable just given the press coverage this has received. But this is by far the worst policy or policy action we've seen in this poll for the Trump administration.
And when I'm looking at this poll, if I'm a Republican, I'm thinking, there aren't too many bright spots for me, especially in a midterms year, perhaps Venezuela, but other than that, not so much, especially when you're looking at President Trump's approval rating. But if I'm a Democrat, what am I thinking? What are my biggest concerns based on this poll? And what are my biggest bright spots? Read the tea leaves for us.
Yeah, well, if I'm a Democrat, I'm probably pretty happy with the results because come November, a lot of these Democrats, especially in some of these statewide contests, can very easily just run against the Trump administration and tie Republicans to the Trump administration at the state level as much as they possibly can. And I think that's probably enough to run up the score here, all things being equal, everything standing as it is right now. So there are very few pitfalls, I think. I do think that we see some approval of, as you said, Venezuela, some of these international actions, and also on some immigration. We've seen evidence that folks do prefer the Trump administration's approach to immigration policy overall, maybe not necessarily enforcement. But that is one area where Democrats have struggled with immigration and immigration policy. So I think, if anything, that is going to be a major difficulty for them. Maybe it's something to contend with, though, to actually put something up for as a proposal that isn't just not Trump, right? Just not the Trump administration's policies. So they need to think that through. But otherwise, running against the Trump administration is likely to be successful for them.
We are in a midterms year, so that means we certainly have a lot to look out for. I'm sure you will have plenty of polls out, and I hope we can have a lot of conversations about them. Matt Taglia, per usual, I appreciate the conversation. Thanks for joining me.
See you next time. Thanks, Brittany.